Yo, what's up, guys? It's your favorite 16-year-old reseller back at it again. Made over 30K in the last year, if you don't already know, and currently in the development phase of a months-long project that is going to generate so much money. It's going to bring so much change to the world. And during that, leading up to this position that I'm in this development phase that I'm in, I've learned that you can't have it all and that you need to sacrifice. I've learned this from Charlie Morgan and Sam Ovens, who are both extremely good entrepreneurs. Sam Ovens is the founder of Skool, Skool. You probably know what that is. It's like the app, like the social media, where it's like the paid communities and stuff. He's like a billionaire now, and then Charlie Morgan is a like centimillionaire or something, who owns Imperium Agency and also Imperium Academy now, his free program. And you must know that you have to have a singular priority, guys. Progress will not be impressive if it's split into many different directions. So you can't want a insane physique. You can't also want healthy relationships in your life. You also can't have an extremely good social life. You also can't be athletically in your best shape. I guess that goes in with the weightlifting and the physique. You also can't grow a business at the same time. You also can't, I don't know, learn a language at the same time. You also can't, you can't. So there's probably many things that you want, right? You want to learn this language. You want this physique. You want this money. You want this business, um, and you have desire for all of these things. But you need to focus on one thing, not two, not even two. You can't even have two major goals. There must be a singular priority. Because, once again, progress is not going to be impressive if it's split in many directions. Because anyone can split their efforts into many different directions. Because wants everyone wants to be rich. Everyone wants a good body. Everyone wants a good physique. Everyone wants to learn multiple languages. Like most people, if you just gave them the option, if you just handed it to them, you said, "Do you want to magically acquire Spanish? Do you want to magically acquire Chinese?" They'll say, "Yeah, I'll take it." Yeah, because they didn't put any effort in. They didn't put any time or effort or thought or pain or sacrifice into it, and they were just given it. So it's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." So they have that shows that they have the desire. They didn't reject. They're not like, "No, I don't need it." They have the desire. They'll take it, but it's not strong enough that they're going to put all of their singular effort and focus. So, if you want to make serious progress in anything, if you actually want to develop some sort of talent or learn some sort of language or build a serious business that actually makes you a good amount of money, like 10K a month, for example, which is not even that much nowadays, like it's not even that impressive nowadays. If you want some sort of achievement, then it's going to require you to get rid of a lot of things that you're going to want, but you don't want as much. So you can have a mediocre desire for many things, and you can try to achieve all of those things, but you're not going to succeed in any of it. You're not going to have any impressive results in all of it, and in any of it, because everybody is that way. Everyone kind of wants everything. Everyone kind of wants everything. Let me repeat that. But nobody has a strong desire for any one thing. Nobody has a an over barely any people have an overwhelming desire for something, and those people that do achieve that thing, and it's impressive because they were willing to put in so much. They were willing to put in so much sacrifice and so much pain into it that they eventually achieved it more than other people were willing to put in, and therefore they're respected for that. Sacrifice and pain are respected universally. If you have a Lamborghini or something, or if you just make up a lot of money in general, it doesn't have to be materialistic. You don't have to flaunt. You don't have to get a Richard Mill. But if you have, let's say, a good physique, if you have a lot of money, if you're making a consistent, impressive income, then that's respected. People people look at you in a different lens. People see you. Yeah, people are just impressed by you because it's shown that you've put in sacrifice and pain. Getting an impressive income is difficult to do unless you've just been given it, right? Unless you've just inherited millions of dollars and then you just inherited the business. It's gonna be hard and it's gonna require a lot of sacrifice, and people know that. To make impressive money, it requires a lot of pain and a lot of sacrifice. Same for a physique. Unless you're doing like steroids, so there's way to cheat. There's ways to cheat this, and there's ways to kind of bypass it, like with steroids for a physique, or with inheritance or just being kind of lucky or scamming or cheating people for like money, for example. And there's ways to cheat it and everything. But in general, sacrifice and pain are respected universally. And just having a good physique or having a good business and being attractive and things like that are symbols of that. Because to be attractive, you obviously have to have a healthy diet, and a healthy diet is not necessarily the easiest to do, because you have to reject and you have to go through the pain and the sacrifice of not wanting to eat ice cream or not wanting to eat a burger or something. So it's sacrificial and it's painful to reject those things, and therefore you your diet is better, and therefore you look better, and you also have to put in time and effort and thought into your hairstyle and your looks and your like everything about you and your clothes, the way that you dress. All of that requires so much time and effort. So you're sacrificing and you're going through pain and you're going out of your comfort zone and you're doing so much effort in order to look more attractive, and that is respected. On to the next point. You can literally have anything that you want, literally anything in the world that you want. You want a good physique, you want money, you want a successful business, you want to retire your parents, you want to move to a certain country, you want to learn a certain language, you want a certain degree, you want to meet a certain person. You can do whatever you want. It literally just depends on your level of desire. It just depends on how badly you want it. If you kind of want it, like almost everyone, then you're not going to achieve it. Because for a goal like 10K a month, it requires a certain threshold. It requires a certain amount of effort. It requires a certain amount of effort or pain or sacrifice in order to achieve it. So let's say that you don't really want 10K a month. Like money doesn't really matter to you that much. The amount of money that you make doesn't. You don't really care about it, right? You're fine with like $1,000 or $2,000 a month, and you're, I don't know, living in like a poor country or something, and that's like livable to you. Now, you're not going to achieve 10K a month because, okay, if I went up to you and I said, do you want 10K a month suddenly? Like, do you just want to start making that much and you just live the same job and you live the same life and everything like that? You'd probably take it. Now, everyone would probably take it, because even if you don't really have that much use for it, you can just have it just in case. So, essentially, everyone would just want to, if it was just given to them, everyone would want 10K a month extra. It doesn't hurt, other than like a very few amount of people, like, I don't know, like monks or something. Now, it requires a certain threshold to actually achieve that. So almost everyone, so there's kind of a difference here. Almost everyone wants 10K a month, but only a few amount of people are willing to actually put in the effort in order to achieve it. And that's why that number and having a successful business in general is respectable. So someone who doesn't really want it, they're fine with their current income. They're only willing to put in a very small amount of effort, pain, and sacrifice, probably none at all, in order to achieve 10K a month. Therefore they won't achieve it, and they're fine with that. Now, someone who kind of wants it, maybe someone like you, who would obviously want 10K a month, but they aren't crazy about it, and they're not obsessed about it, because if they were obsessed about it, then they would have already been at 10K a month. They would have already put in so much time and effort and thought and just so much poured their heart into it to already achieve 10K a month. So it shows that your current position literally shows to me that you do not have an extremely strong desire to already be at 10K a month. Now, if you have a pretty strong desire and you're just about at that point of achieving 10K a month, then you still won't achieve 10K a month. You'll maybe be stuck at like 2K or 5K, or maybe you're not even at your first sale, because I don't know, like it just depends. But if you don't have a strong enough desire, then you'll fall short. So let's say that you need, like, I don't know, like 100 desire points, just an arbitrary number, in order to achieve 10K a month. Now, if you're even at like 90, then you're gonna fall short. You're gonna be at 0K or 2K or 5K a month, or it's gonna be all rocky and it's gonna be inconsistent all over the place. One month you get 10K, another month you get like 1K. But then once you increase your effort and increase your pain and your sacrifice past that threshold, and you go over 100 desire points, then you suddenly achieve 10K a month. And it takes, it's not sudden, it takes the elapsement of time, it takes some amount of time obviously you have to build the business, or you have to build whatever is going to make you the money, the company, you have to find the employees to hire, and everything like that. You have to find the talent, you have to learn the skills, you have to put in the effort, obviously. So with the elapsing of time, you will achieve 10K a month. It just depends on the amount of effort and pain and sacrifice that you're willing to put in. And these efforts, they also have to be pointed into the right direction. And that's the entire point of education, like YouTube videos, courses, everything like that, because they're all supposed to skip the part where you have to go out there and learn it yourself, and they're supposed to help you. So basically, the people that teach the courses and whatever stance that you have on courses and everything, let's say that a course is actually useful and it's genuinely beneficial, then the entire point of that course and that help and that mentorship and that coaching is to, for the coach, the mentor, whatever, to go out there and figure out what works. They go in one direction, it doesn't work. They go in another direction, it doesn't work. They try this, they try that. They did all the experimentation. They put in all the time and effort, and they found what works and what doesn't work. My bad. They found what does work and what does not work. And now they know what works. They know which direction you have to go, and they know what you have to do and what you have to ignore and get rid of. And basically, just like this video, I'm telling. So you could try building a business. You could try building a physique without sacrifice, without and thinking that you can have it all. But the point of this video is to skip you having to experience that, and to go in this direction and that direction and that direction, and to try. Oh, maybe I can have it all, or maybe I can have some of it, but I can't have it all. No, you need one singular priority, and all the other previous advice that I've given you before in the previous like 12 minutes, all of that advice is to skip you trying all these different directions and to just give you the correct direction to go in, to give you the instructions that you need to follow in order to achieve your goal. So that's the entire point of education, coaches, and everything like that, and that's why people pay good money, because it saves them a lot of time and a lot of effort. Now, sacrifice is pain, and that's, if you need to sacrifice in order to achieve your goal, then you should probably realize that achieving your goal is going to be painful. And that's why it's respected, because nobody wants to go through pain, and the few who are willing to go through pain in order to achieve their goal, once again, are respected universally. So you need to sacrifice everything and just have a singular priority. Maybe you're saying, oh, I just watch a show for 30 minutes after school or after work, right? It's fine, just 30 minutes. Okay, you can watch your show for 30 minutes, but it's going to be at the cost of your goal. So that just shows that basically when you're telling me that, you're ticking down your desire points, because you're showing that show has more, that you want to watch that show for 30 minutes more than you want to achieve your goal, more than you want to work on your business, or more than you want to work on your physique and everything like that. Because sitting around and watching a show isn't going to bring you any closer to your goal, no matter what it is. Unless you want to be like an actor or something, it's not going to bring you closer to your goal. So every sacrifice that you make, every single thing that you throw, almost imagine it like a fire, and every single thing that you throw into the fire makes it grow larger and makes it burn for longer. Every single sacrifice is more time and effort that you can put into your priority, into your singular focus goal. Right now, my singular focus and the thing that I spend hours and hours on, the thing I'm literally dropping out of high school for, well, I'm not dropping out, I'm going homeschooled, but I'm literally going homeschooled. I'm literally going essentially antisocial for this, and I'm spending 8 to 10 hours on it a day, and I've already invested $500, and I've already invested tens of hours into it with not even being close to getting results, and I've been through so much pain. Well, not that much yet. It's going to get a lot worse. But I've put myself into the deep end. I've put myself into a field that I knew nothing about. Literally completely clueless in this field. I've dabbled in it before, and it was so difficult and so excruciating, and I'm so lost. I'm still pretty freaking lost, and it was painful, and it required a lot of sacrifice. It required me to sacrifice watching. There's like a YouTube show. It's called Jet Lag the Game. It required me to sacrifice watching this like entertainment show, even though it's just like a 45-minute video every single week. That's 45 minutes more that I can think about my business, that I can work on calming down my brain and putting myself into a better mental state. I'm saving money. I'm saving a lot of time and a lot of effort, and getting rid of a lot of things in my life that, yeah, everyone's going to tell you, oh, you should live a balanced life. This is so unbalanced. This is so impractical. This is not healthy. And that's why they're in their position. Only take advice from people that are in the position that you want to be in. So all these mediocre people are going to tell you, no. You should have just have a cheat meal this time. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You need to draw the line. You say, no, I can't have the cheat meal. I'm sorry. And if they react negatively to that, it just shows like where they are. It shows why they're in the position that they're in. It just kind of shows their character. So you need to sacrifice as much as you can. Just it's almost like a game. Like look at everywhere around you and just see where you can sacrifice and where you can get rid of things in order to put more into your goal, into your priority. And here's a little tangent. I mentioned before the level of desire that you want for your goal. Now, this level of desire, you'll probably forget it often. So let's say that you want to make 10K a month online, or 10K a month just through whatever business, or at least something that can grow. So like for like if you work in a hospital or like a lawyer or something, it can't grow that much. But 10K a month in like an online business that has the potential to grow to like 6 figures a month. So like 7 figures a year. Now, if you want that, you probably, when you're like scrolling on Reels or something, or on TikTok or something, and you see like an edit, and you see the cars, and you see the lifestyle, and you see, I don't know, like the Brez Scales vlogs and stuff, your desire goes up. You're like, oh, dude, I want to work on this business. I want to work on a business so much. I want to make money so badly. And it's called like that 2 a.m. motivation, or like that 3 a.m. motivation, whatever. So there's points, the level of desire that you have fluctuates, and it moves a lot. So when you see those vlogs, or maybe it's a certain time of the day, or it's a certain emotion that you feel, your desire goes up to achieve your goal, and at certain times it goes down, and you don't really want, you don't prioritize, you don't have such a strong desire at that moment to achieve your goal. Now, the way that you can increase your desire and have it at a higher state, because once again, there's a certain threshold that you need to meet. So imagine this threshold that you need to meet in order to achieve your goal. Now, instead of your desire going above the threshold, below the threshold, above, and below, it needs to be consistently above. It needs to be up here consistently. Okay, if it goes up and down, you're gonna stagnate. You're not gonna make good progress. So what you need to do is you need to remind yourself with vision boards. You need to look at your goal every single day. You need to be consistently in that kind of state, and you have to be almost entranced, almost like a psychopath on your goal. You can't live a normal life. You can't just like live your normal day, and then in the afternoon you see the motivational videos and you have a sudden increase in your desire, because you're only going to work on your business. You're only gonna have the desire to work on your business in the afternoons or the evenings and stuff, and then therefore since you only have the desire in the evenings or afternoons, or occasionally or at certain times or inconsistently, then you're only gonna work on your business, or you're only gonna work on your physique, or you're only gonna make positive progress in the positive direction very inconsistently. So if you have a constant strong desire and only very occasionally do you dip below, and I don't know, maybe you're sick, and your desire dips below, and you're just like, oh, I just want to recover from my sickness right now. I just want this cold to be gone. Like occasionally it's gonna dip below no matter what, but you want to have it as high as possible, as much as you can. You want to look at vision boards. You want to constantly remind yourself of your goal, and you want to become obsessed with this goal, and just think about it all the time. You want this. It sounds bad, but you want this to become your personality. You want this to become your thing. You want it to become one with you, so that you work relentlessly on it. So that you basically essentially forget everything else, and you're just entranced and focused on this. Because that's how you keep the desire up. You want to constantly remind yourself of how good it would be when you have that. You want to, with photos, with reminders, with text, with affirmations, like everything. And it sounds super like spiritual and woo-wah and like all of that, but it works. And this is what successful entrepreneurs and successful like people with great physiques and everything have. Because if you're just like at school and something, and then it's like lunchtime, and you're like, the school lunch obviously isn't, it has like seed oils, and the macros aren't good, and it's unhealthy, and it has a ton of sugar and everything, and it's obviously going to ruin your physique. Let's say that your goal is to build a good physique, then since your desire is probably down here while you're at school or something, or while you're at work and you're just like, I'm just going to have my work lunch, or like in the morning when you're making your lunch, and you're packing your lunch, you're like, oh, it's fine, I'm just going to pack this unhealthy food because it's easier in the moment, and it's tastier, right? So you're let's say in the afternoons and evenings you're working on your physique, you're eating a healthy diet, but when it comes to the morning and the afternoon and midday and lunchtime and everything, your breakfast and lunchtime, even though your dinners, you're super disciplined, and you have a strong focus on your physique, and you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have ate that before. I just want to build a good physique. Even if you're like that every evening, you're ruining yourself. You're making negative progress every morning and every afternoon, and every like midday, every lunchtime. So in the evenings, you're making positive progress, but then in the morning and midday, you're just killing that progress. So you're putting yourself through pain by having to be disciplined in the evenings. You're like, yeah, I have to reject the bad food. I'm just gonna eat the good food. I mean, it's better than just like being on a negative slope where you're just getting fat and unhealthy and everything like that with just eating unhealthy food. It's better than that. But you don't want it to be up and down and up and down every day. It's literally like teeth shaped. You know the little spikes in Geometry Dash, like the three spike jump, or like the two spike jump, or the one spike jump. It's literally like that. It's Geometry Dash spike shaped. You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be a huge slope upwards. It needs to be that. Because, okay, you can choose your level of sacrifice depending on your desire. So if your desire is weak, then you're obviously not going to sacrifice that much. You're not going to sacrifice the tasty food. You're not going to sacrifice the convenience, any of that, if you have a low desire. Because low desire leads to low sacrifice. Low sacrifice leads to low time and energy that you're spending on your priority, on your goal. And therefore, that leads to unimpressive progress on your goal, because everyone is doing the same thing. Everyone is doing the same thing. So if you're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing, it's no longer impressive. Now, if you have high desire, not a lot of people have high desire for their goal. They have medium desire or low desire, or maybe even medium high desire, but nobody has high or excruciatingly high desire. That's going to lead to the same amount of sacrifice. So high desire leads to high sacrifice. High sacrifice means that you have a lot of time and energy that you can now put towards your goal, or your business, or your physique, or more time that you can spend on the gym, or more time that you can spend researching about like the best workout, or the best like exercise to do, and like working on form and everything like that, if you're working on your physique. And that's going to lead to, since you have an obsession, and since that's all you're thinking about, and since you're putting so much time and energy into it, it has to go up. It's going to lead to impressive progress in your goal. So here's another idea. Everyone has the same 24 hours. Everyone has the same, let's say, like 1,000 points of energy. So everyone has the same time and energy every single day. But you can increase that energy. Yeah, so not everyone has the same amount of energy. It's a little side tangent. But you can increase your energy with a healthy diet and with good sleep and etc. Things like that. Just like the normal health stuff. So better health is going to lead to higher energy. So you just have more energy to put into your goal. Now, you can put that energy, you can put 100 energy into this thing, and 200 into that, and 500 into that, or 1,000 into that. You can put 200 into talking with your friends, 300 into this party, 200 into the gym, 100 into your business, and then 100 onto this other business, and then 100 onto dinner, and 50 on what clothes you're going to wear, and 50 on this assignment in school, and 200 on this project, and 300 on this other thing that you're researching. You can put your energy in all these different places. But low energy is going to lead to low results. Sorry about the pause. Um, you need to put as much energy as you can into one thing. So that's just another point. Just like another way of looking at it. And pain is an indication of change, an indication of growth. Like there's like growing pains when you're growing up, like puberty and stuff. you're going to get growing pains. It's the same thing with like your identity. You have a previous identity, you have your current identity. You literally need to kill yourself. You need to kill your current identity, and you need to change into someone that is going to achieve your goal. You need to literally shape your mind in order to become someone who's disciplined, someone who's willing to sacrifice everything for their goal. You're literally killing your old, weak, unsuccessful self and becoming something greater. You're literally like shedding your skin like a snake. And if you want any change or growth, it has to be through pain. Those are the bargaining chips, essentially, that you're giving to the universe. So essentially, you're like going up to the universe, you're going up to God or whatever you believe in, and you're saying, I want a good physique, I want a successful business, I want this, I want that, I want this, right? And you're going to be told, well, you can't just have it for free. This is not a communist society. The world isn't, the universe isn't communist. It's not just like, oh, I want it, then I have it. It's the oversimplification of what communism is, but you get what I mean. It's not, you have to give something, and then you're gonna get something back, right? It's not like, I want a impressive physique, and then God's gonna snap its fingers and the universe is gonna work its magic, and you just have to manifest it, and now you have it. It doesn't work like that. You have to essentially use pain as your bargaining chips. So if you're putting in like 50 pain points, 50 sacrifice points, and you're like, here's how much I want it. I mean, this shows my desire. I'm willing to put in 50 pain and 50 sacrifice points. I'm willing to get rid of this and this in order to get it. And the universe is going to tell you, no. You need 100. You need, or let's say instead of 10K a month, you want like 100K a month. Oh, no. You need 300 sacrifice points. I need 300 sacrifice points, or else you're not going to get your 10K a month. You're not going to get your... I need 100 sacrifice points, or else you're not going to get your 10K a month. And I need 300 sacrifice points, or else I cannot give you 100K a month. It's just not possible. I need 300 sacrifice points. No negotiation. No, I'm not going to accept 50. If you want to give me 50, I'll give you like $500 a month. Okay, are you happy with that? So if you're fine with just like $500 a month, then just give those 50 tokens. Just give those 50 pain tokens, right? You give those 50 pain tokens, and interchanging sacrifice and pain, because once again I said sacrifice is pain. So you're giving those 50 pain points, those 50 pain tokens to the universe, to God, and they're like, okay, here's $500 a month. But if you give me 10 more, then I'll get you to $1,000 a month. It's like, okay, if I'm already putting in 50, then if I just put in 10 more, I get double the result. So I'm going from 50 to 60, which is not that much, but I'm going to 500 to 1,000, which is a pretty big increase. So then you give 10 more, and this is essentially like compounding, because the amount of pain tokens that you're giving is linear, 50, 60, 70, but the amount of reward that you're getting is exponential, at least for like business, because the higher that you go into the pain points, the less people are willing to give the same amount of pain, are willing to put up with the same amount of pain. So just for simplicity, since I already mentioned 300, let's say like 500 is the maximum amount of pain that you can go through. Like that's the maximum amount of pain points. So barely anyone is willing to even go to 300, because that's super painful. That's like almost 500. Now, so few people are willing to go to 450 pain tokens, or like 490 or 499 or 499.9. So the very few people that are willing to go to 499 pain points are the billionaires of the world in terms of like a business. They put in the most pain and the most sacrifice in order to get the largest results, because that's just the amount of desire that they had. That's the amount that they wanted it. So it just depends on how much you want it. The further that you go along, the further along that you want on your goal. So if you just want a mid physique, it's only going to be a little bit of pain, a little bit of sacrifice. My voice is getting weird. It's only going to be a little bit of pain, a little bit of sacrifice. But if you want a slightly better physique, it's going to be slightly more. Now, if you want a slightly better physique, it's going to be slightly more. And it just depends on where on that scale do you draw the line. What is the maximum amount of pain that you're willing to put yourself through, and what is your least acceptable result? What is the goal? let me reword it. What goal is the least that you're gonna accept? So you have like and we're approaching 30 minutes now. We've just hit 30 minutes. Now, you have like a baseline standard. So you're like, anything below this physique, no, I just don't accept it. It just doesn't work with, like, I just can't accept that. It's just, it can't happen. Where's that line? Because it's not the level of your goals. This is a whole separate video. It's not how high are your goals. It's what's your minimum base acceptable level. So it just depends. What is your minimum base acceptable level, and how much pain and desire are you willing to give up in order to achieve that? That's basically it. You can subscribe if you're not a loser, or if you are, then you can just you can scroll down to the comments or click onto another video on the side that you see on that section right there, right there, and that's about it, guys. So I don't think you're a loser, right? Because you watched 31 minutes of content. All right, okay, bye. What's up?